Hello, my internet peeps. How are you today? This is Scott Rideshare. So today, the story I want to tell you about is how I was messing with a passenger. And messing with is kind of a subjective term. So let me know what you think when we get to the end of the story. It may not be what you're thinking now. Hopefully, you'll find it very funny. Now, before I begin, I wanted to say that I got a couple of comments about people saying that I should just get right into the story. And I get what they're saying. You know, a lot of times people don't want to be told uh, how a clock is made. They just want you to tell them the time. But for me, and a lot of times what I'm doing is I'm providing context for why I'm telling the story and what was going on. But let me know down in the comments below. I'm gonna tell you about two things before I actually get to the story. Let me know what you think. I want to make the channel better, and I want to listen to what my viewers are saying. So if I do need to cut out all that stuff in the beginning, just let me know, okay? So in the beginning, before I start, let me tell you a little something. I am not licensed in any way to clinically diagnose anyone for any medical conditions, okay? And I consider OCD to be very serious. It's not a laughing matter at all, okay? That is for somebody who is clinically diagnosed with it. There are a lot of people running around who are not clinically diagnosed but have mild forms of it. And again, I'm not clinically diagnosed, but let me tell you about a guy who sat next to me for a few years. We had a workstation together, and we sat together next to each other for a couple of years, right? And at first, I didn't really pay too much attention to him. I just knew he would come in and he would kind of like flitter about his workstation before he sat down to work. And then occasionally we would get into a conversation, and I would turn to him and talk to him while he was doing his flittering about. And I realized that he's like grabbing the monitor as if he's adjusting it, but he's not moving the monitor at all. He would touch the keypad as if he's moving it, but he wasn't moving the keypad at all. You get what I'm saying? He touched the mouse, and he'd spend like a minute doing this before he even sat down to work. You know, he'd hit the turn on button for the computer and then start doing all of this before he sat down to work. And we had no partition between us. So there are times when I was working and I had things, my job required more paper than his job. So sometimes I was going through reports and doing stuff, and you know, I didn't have any room on my left-hand side, so I'd put stuff on the right-hand side. And occasionally I'd see him just lean over and like push my stuff. Even though I thought I wasn't going over his line, but in his mind he had a line. And I got to see OCD in action. Mild form of it. I think most of the people that have it, it doesn't stop them from living their life, so it's fine. It's only when it becomes crippling and you can't live your life that you should really seek out help. And again, it's really no laughing matter for those who are clinically diagnosed. And even for this particular individual, it's not really a laughing matter either. Now, I think a lot of us have much less a form of it, but it's not obsessive, it's not compulsive, and it's not a disorder. And kind of an example of that is if you wake up in the morning and you brush your teeth before you take a shower. If you happen to, for whatever reason, take a shower first and then brush your teeth, it kind of throws your whole day off. Do you know what it is I'm talking about? And I consider that like a mild form of it. Now, it could just be a habit, and it just kind of messes with our heads, but I just think of it as a very mild form. Again, I'm not clinically diagnosed. But I wanted to set that pretext up, all right? Also, I always try to take the high road with everything that I do. It doesn't always work. There are times where I can't take the high road. But most of the times I try to take the high road. For some people, it's really hard. Okay, I made a video some time ago called "The Leap in Logic," and I should be able to post it down below, about a guy I had to deal with that, with this particular individual, it was hard most of the times dealing with him, and it was very hard to take the high road. And whenever I come into things, I kind of think of the most comical way possible to think of it. So I pictured like a little devil on one side, a little angel on the other side, and the little devil is telling me to do evil things, and the little angel is telling me to do good things. Now, did I just say on the internet that I have voices in my head? I didn't say that, did I? I didn't say that. Anyway, this is going to tie into what happened with this passenger. And let me know if I can cut out all this previous stuff, okay, in the comments below, right? And whether you need to hear it or not. And in either case, it's like a Saturday or Sunday morning. It's about 8 to 10 months ago, and it was early in the morning. Okay, it's about 7:30 in the morning, and there were no cars where we were going. I picked the passenger up, and where we were going, no cars. So it was kind of like a nice, breezy drive. Towards the beginning of the drive, the passenger said, "Could you lower the radio? I want to make a phone call." And I'm like, "Sure, no problem." Now, you know how it is when things are quiet, every little sound is that much louder. I usually try to tone out when people are on the phone. I just try to tone them out. Now, it usually helps when I have a radio because, I can kind of tune in on that. If there's cars or people out, I can kind of tune in on them while I'm just doing a straight shot down the road. In this particular instance, there was nobody around. There was no noise anywhere. And I tried to tune them out. I try not to listen in on people's conversations if I don't have, if I can help it. And in this case, I couldn't help it. So the guy's talking on the phone, and what I picked up is that he was somebody who, he didn't work on a boat, but he worked for a company that took people out on the boat. And his job was to get like the supplies ready for the boat. Not that he would be on the boat, but he would make sure everything's ready. I'm guessing based on his end of the conversation. And he's also telling whoever was on the phone he was talking to, a coordinator, an assistant, secretary, I don't know, but he was saying everything he did. And he gets to a point where he says, "And I got soy milk instead of almond milk." And then he continues on. And then we come up to an intersection that's normally very, very busy. But at this time, there was nobody there. The lights were moving fast, I could see, and there were no cars around. But he asked me to make a left-hand turn before that intersection. All right, I get it. It saves you like 30 seconds sitting at a light, whatever. So I make the turn. And then as soon as I make the turn, he starts telling me specific streets to turn down. And I'm like, okay, if a passenger wants specific streets, I have no problem doing it. This particular area I knew pretty well, and everything was just small little blocks. You turn on this one, you turn on this one, you turn on that one, you turn on that one. It didn't really matter. You were going to get there at the same time. There were no lights back here, stop signs and speed bumps on all the streets. So, it's not like you could zoom. But in either case, he's telling me specifically where he wants me to go. And then he's back on the phone with the lady. Oh, I don't know if it was a lady. Whoever it was he was on the phone with. And he's telling them that it's okay. They could drink almond milk. They don't have to drink soy milk. And what's going through my head is, here this guy is, as a passenger, he's telling me specifically where he wants me to drive, what streets he wants me to turn down. And he's very specific on the streets. Meanwhile, he's telling the person on the phone that his passengers, not his, but the company that he works for, they don't have to have what they requested. They can have what he bought for them. So the little devil and the little angel start arguing, right? And I listened to the little devil, and I turned a block early. Okay, I was kind of looking to see what he was gonna do. And he tells me, "Oh, that's not the street I wanted you to turn down. That's okay. Make a left turn here, and then turn down this street, and then turn down that street." It was left, right, left. I'm like, okay, no problem. I'm sorry about that. The app was telling me to turn early. The app wasn't telling me to turn early. But anyway, I'm sitting there watching his reaction to this, and I'm thinking to myself, does this guy have that mild form of OCD I believe that a lot of us have? Perhaps his is ratcheted up a little bit, less than the guy that sat next to me. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I said, well, let me find out. This ought to be fun. And I turned before he asked me to turn. And he's like, "Oh, hold on," to the person on the phone. And he goes, "Okay, go ahead and turn down this street and then turn down that street." Only this time, he's not going back to the conversation. He's waiting for me to make the turns. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. The app told me to turn out this way. I apologize. So he goes, it's all right, no worries. So I made the turn that he wanted. I said, okay, now just take this road straight down, and then you'll be able to make a left before such and such a street, and it'll take us right there. I said, okay, sure, no problem. And he gets back on the phone, right? And to myself, I'm kind of chuckling. I'm having a good time about this. But he's getting back to telling them, insisting that their passengers, they could drink the soy milk, the almond milk. They don't need to drink the soy milk. So I went ahead and I knew this area, by the way, okay? And I know that there's a street he wanted me to turn down. He told me to make a left before the light to turn down that street. But he didn't specify to turn down that street. He told me then you'll be able to make a left and get on, get where we need to go. And I knew that there was a left turn before the street he wanted us to do. And it wasn't really a street, but it was carved out like a rounded L for residents and the school that was in the area. So I turned down there. And he goes, oh, that's somewhere I wanted you to go. He goes, but it's okay. We can still get where we need to go. And it was almost like he was trying to work through his mind that I didn't really do anything wrong. I mean, none of it would have made a difference either way. So I made the turn and I got back on the road. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. He's like, no, don't worry about it. It's okay. And then we get to the stop. And I told him to go ahead and have a great day. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Have a great day, okay? And he must be getting out of the car thinking, this driver is the stupidest driver I've ever had as a driver. But he's such a nice guy, so I won't low rate him. We're still here. Everything's good. My ratings didn't go down. But I'm laughing the whole time inside. And then when I was out of view of him, I'm laughing on the outside. That was a way that I was messing with a passenger. Yes, it was very passive aggressive, but I don't think he understood the point that I was trying to make because I didn't say anything to him. But the point was, if you want to have something a certain way when you're paying for it, then your passengers, you should be, giving your passengers the way they want it when they're paying for it. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, I hope you liked the video. Please let me know. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Let me know down in the comment section if I should cut out that preamble. I think that it'll make the video shorter. Yeah, sure, no problem. But at the same time, it'll kind of explain a little bit about what I was talking about with the OCD and the devil and the angel on the shoulders and all that good stuff. So thank you very much. You have a great day. This is Scott Rideshare.